The Board of Directors of Jim Clark American is proud to introduce the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners, a professional association of licensed insurance agents who specialize in retirement planning. If you want to make more money, have more time off, and enjoy a lifestyle of which most agents only dream, stop selling life insurance and start selling retirement planning. No one wants to buy life insurance. Everyone wants to retire younger, richer. The plain, simple truth is, if you're going to do retirement planning, the smart play is to do so as a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners. You'll have the prospecting tools, closing tools, techniques, training, and support you need to build and maintain a quality retirement planning practice. Jim Clark is the founder, chairman, CEO, Invictus of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners. He is the father of the retirement planning industry. He was the first to use the words retirement and planning together. He opened the first retirement planning office in America 50 years ago. He sold more retirement policies and annuities than any other agent in the 250-year history of the life insurance industry. He is the only agent in the 250-year history of the industry to have the Deputy Commissioner of Insurance endorse the way he does business. Regulatory agencies just do not endorse licensees. One exception was made. Jim Clark was endorsed. No one knows more about building and maintaining a quality retirement planning practice than does Jim Clark. No one. As a member in good standing of the American Alliance, you'll have the extraordinary opportunity to learn from Jim Clark firsthand. How often does one have a chance to learn from the one who started an industry? Mr. Clark has trained thousands of agents nationwide, some new in the business, and some with 30-plus years experience. According to the letters and testimonials from both groups, his training has made their careers and their lives better. Mr. Clark's desire is to make your career and your life better by bringing his knowledge and experience to you through membership in the American Alliance. Listen to what agents said about the benefits of being a member in good standing. The most revealing statement is, "I think it's more than worth the time and money. One sale would pay for your dues for a whole year. In my case, 2 or 3 years." Indeed, the benefits of being a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners sound too good to be true, but they are true. If anything, they're understated.
Well, I'm the president, the chief cook and bottle washer, so I've been in the business about 16 years. Up until just recently, it's been a job. But since I've joined the Alliance, it's become fun again. The main thing that the Alliance has done for me, people see me in a whole different perspective than they did before. They treat me now as a professional, whereas before I was an insurance salesman.
I really can't tell you. I just celebrated my 60th birthday, and I'm more excited about the business and what we're doing here than anything I've ever done in my 28-year career. The people have such a willingness to talk to you. I was told in the beginning, you're going to have to take a lot of no's. Well, in my short little use of the advertising program, nobody has said, no, I don't want to talk to you. What they've said is, when can we get together and when can we sit down and discuss with you what you can do for us with retirement planning? It's like night and day. It's just the most amazing thing that I have ever seen in my life. Of course, it doesn't hurt also that I've had one of the highest income months that I've ever had in the program last October, or this October, and I think in the near future that could double. That's very exciting to an old guy like me.
The techniques that the Alliance has taught us has allowed us to ask the right questions and then back it up with when the client is selecting a product, for us to say, by the way, before you decide on that, let me ask you a quick question. What are you doing about your retirement? And it's amazing, the clients all of a sudden, especially the men come alive, because quite frankly, you know, they view mortgage insurance as a necessary evil. They got to die, and et cetera, et cetera. Now they see a living benefit. They see something that they have an interest in, and I mean, where they might have been, you know, looking at a $50 premium and trying to decide if they could afford it, all of a sudden now they're saying, I want that $300 a month program, $300 a month. So what the Alliance has done for us is it's allowed us to double our production, double our commissions, and just has all our agents doing exactly the same thing.
I had a little problem with the business because I was a professional all my life as an educator, and when I found that people really weren't viewing me that way any longer, it was a concern. And when I heard you speak in San Jose about 8 months ago, I became very interested because it seemed that your philosophy was exactly what I had been looking for as far as someone to work with. I left the agency where I was working and went out on my own and have started incorporating more and more of the Progressive Alliance techniques. And I'm finding that it's increased my sales, it's helped my business, and it's certainly helping my self-image as a professional.
Last month I more than doubled my annuity production. My best month ever before that was about $250,000. But I don't concentrate in annuities, I do mostly long-term care. My wife is my partner, we did about $700,000 in long-term care last year. So we didn't really do much with annuities, but we kind of sold them by accident. I started using some of your PowerPoints, and last month we cracked $520,000. My wife was concerned about the videos sitting on the shelf, so we started passing them out and we doubled our production. Well, I think there's probably two other things that really mean a lot to us from the system. One is how quickly it builds trust with a senior client. That's critical to a senior. If you don't have their trust, you're just not going to make a sale, and that's the end of the story. I had a lady come into my office this past month who said, Mel, I'm here just to do $30,000 with you. That's all I have to work with, because she had just sold a bond that had been called, actually. So that was all she was going to do, and it took me about 10 minutes to get her to loosen up a little bit. Finally, I started using some of those power phrases with her about safety, because that was her big concern. She gave me another $70,000 before the day was over. One of the biggest things that's helped us with is the organization, because we used to be real disorganized, and now we have a system for how to flow people to the office. We're going to stay for life.
Just last week, I passed out one of the movies in a box. And from just that presentation, that one sale was $3,000 premium on the wife and about $6,000 premium on the husband. So it's been wonderful. I should have started using the tools 5 months ago. I look at what I had done in the past, and it's almost tripled my production. As an insurance agent, you're kind of perceived in one way, and when I changed the name of the company, as well as my title, retirement planner, it has really risen, I guess, my belief, as well as the client's outlook on me. The tools have been fantastic. The brochure, one client called me back and said that was an excellent brochure. The movie in a box basically made the sale for me. I just came back in and answered the questions. So the tools are great. You just have to use them. You have to get them out of the box. Once you get them out of the box and in the client's hands, your job is about 85 to 90% done. I think it's more than worth the time and money. One sale would pay for your dues for a whole year. In my case, 2 or 3 years. So if you use the tools, you take advantage of all the support that the Alliance provides us, it's fantastic. I've been in the Alliance 5 months, and I'm going to stay in the Alliance for life. Fantastic.
At the beginning, I was selling term, then I get into some cash value. But what's happened to me in the last 5 or 6 months has been phenomenal. I met you, well, I should say I met you. I saw you at the meeting in San Diego, I think it was in March or April. And then the next time I saw you was in Houston. I joined up with the Alliance at that time. And it was interesting because I had a close that evening. And just taking notes from the presentation you gave in Houston, I went to that closed and turned a $37 a month sale into a $200 a month sale. Just by saying that I was specializing in retirement planning. I used to consider it to be pretty good if I got $90 or $100 a month sales. I don't get anything less than $100 a month sale. I'm up now, I've booked some sales in the last couple of months that have been over $1,000 a month. People recognize the fact that retirement planning is something that they need. In addition to that, I can't believe how people are opening up without my even having to ask them. I don't feel like I'm in the same business anymore. I feel like I've risen to a whole new level.
Listen to what certified public accountant and co-founder of Pepperdine & Associates, Alan Pepperdine, said about the value of membership in good standing when he installed a retirement planning division in his accounting practice. When was the last time you made an investment in your career and received a 400% return? Case in point, no one, not even accountants themselves, deny the fact that salesmanship is not the forte of most accountants. If an accounting firm run by accountants could turn a 400% return on investment with the American Alliance, what could a salesman do with the same opportunity? What could you do? Dear Jim, as you know, accountants are always talking about things like ROI, return on investment, and other things that may not make much sense except to other accountants. What we spent on you and your training ended up giving us a 400% ROI in the first year alone. In plain English, it was very, very successful. Thank you very much. The retirement planning seminar that you put on for our clients was masterful. We continue to hear about the seminar from the various attendees, and most of them want to know when you are coming back. I can say without equivocation that without your help and training, our efforts to create a retirement planning division for our CPA firm would not have been anywhere near as successful. You were very good at putting our clients and contacts at ease, educating them, and then motivating them to action. Please accept our sincere thanks for all you have done for us. We look forward to a continuing association with you. Sincerely, Alan D. Pepperdine, Pepperdine & Company, Certified Public Accountants. Listen to what attorney Kevin Pritchett said about Jim Clark's private retirement plan when he used it to install a retirement planning division in his law practice. I met Jim Clark and his private retirement plan in 2001. While I had been practicing business law and estate planning for some time, I was relatively new to the then freshly burgeoning field of retirement planning for Middle America. At the very outset, I was thoroughly impressed with the simplicity, power, and effectiveness of Jim Clark's private retirement plan. For once, it appeared the tables would be turned in favor of the working man and woman. From that time to this day, I have used the private retirement plan for hundreds of my own clients as well as for myself. In my nearly 30 years of legal practice, I have never, and I mean never, seen a system that is as right for clients as it is for the practitioner, as is the private retirement plan created by Jim Clark. So, if you are a working man or woman and want to know why you're falling behind, this book, Retire Younger Richer, will tell you exactly why, as well as show you how to transform your situation. If you are a financial professional and want to truly help your clients and stand head and shoulders above the competition, Retire Younger Richer will also show you how to do just that, and so much more. Jim Clark is not only a truly brilliant man, my mentor and colleague, he's also my friend. And it is with my highest recommendation I commend this book, Retire Younger Richer, to anyone who wants to change their financial life. Read Retire Younger Richer, implement its directives, and just see what happens. Kevin O. Pritchett, Esquire, Law Office of Kevin Pritchett, Inc. How many of your competitors have an attorney endorsing their work and doing testimonials for them? As a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners, you do. The American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners follows the Jim Clark process for retirement planning for several reasons, the primary of which is compliance. Every word of the Jim Clark process, including every word of every prospecting tool and closing tool, is legal and in compliance in all jurisdictions. In fact, when invited to review the Jim Clark process, the Deputy Commissioner for the Indiana Department of Insurance endorsed the way Jim Clark does business. This was the first and only time in the 250-year history of the insurance business that an official of the Department of Insurance has endorsed an agent's method of doing business. This just does not happen. Regulatory agencies just do not endorse licensees. Exception: Jim Clark was endorsed. Mr. Clark has a letter on file from the Indiana Department of Insurance confirming that he has had 0 clients' complaints, over 45 years in business, and 0 client complaints. Follow the Jim Clark process for retirement planning, and you will not have problems with the Department of Insurance.
The foundation of Jim Clark Retirement is integrity. I was there when the Deputy Commissioner told Mr. Clark he wished every agent in the state of Indiana would do business the way he was doing it. I was there when the Deputy Commissioner told Mr. Clark that he was a model for the way business should be conducted. Jim Clark Retirement is integrity.
Being respected in the community is one thing. Being endorsed by your competition is quite another. But that's what happened when Jim Clark asked one of his competitors to do a television endorsement for him. That is the kind of presence you will have in your community when you are a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners. You will be respected for your expertise and integrity, even by your competition. Moreover, you will be unbeatable in competition. This was the first and only time that a competitor has endorsed his competition in such a manner. Competitors just do not go on television and endorse their competition.
Well, I think the first and obvious thing that I'd like to tell is that Jim Clark and I go back 35 years of being competitors. I had 30-some men working for me and women, and they would come in and say, we're in trouble, we're battling Jim Clark and Associates. He legitimately always won if you were in a head-to-head competition with him. He had that ability and the trust. I mean, everybody trusted him, which as new people looking for someone to go with, he was a perfect person because he always told the truth and always did the best planning. He was head and shoulders above my 30-some guys and me. He just, I was always impressed with that. That I have always been amazed at how much integrity Jim Clark brought to any type of competition that he faced. His competition really learned to respect him as much as he had the clients respecting him. And once I got out of the business, I realized that's where my fun was. That was what I had fun doing. And so when I ran into Jim again, I told him what I would like to do is come to work and be associated with him. And so he graciously said that would be wonderful and that he would find a spot for me, and he did. Unfortunately, he put me in a senior management position, so that really was a compliment to me.
When a Jim Clark client was asked to do a television testimonial, there was no hesitation. This does not happen every day. How many television commercials have you seen wherein an actual client was doing a testimonial for his retirement planner? Any? That is the kind of loyalty the Jim Clark process for retirement planning engenders. That is the kind of loyalty that results in 100% persistency.
Doris and I have been Jim Clark clients for 25 years and enjoyed every minute of it. Jim has been very honest with us from the very beginning. We've always trusted him, always will trust him. He's more than a business guy, he's a good friend of ours. And that's why we deal with him. We've always felt like that Jim knew what he was doing in his line of work. Always trusted him, still feel that way, and I will trust him forever. Doris and I have never felt like we've been pressured by Jim Clark or any of his people. We've had several meetings with him, and it's just kind of what we want to do, and he works with us on it, whatever we ask him to do.
If you've been in the life insurance business for at least 13 or 14 seconds, you know the number one problem any agent has is prospecting. That is, getting someone to sit down and hear his story. 97% of all the agents who get a license fail within the first 24 months because of prospecting. They simply do not have enough people who are willing to listen. The ones who do survive spend 80% of their time prospecting, 10% selling, and 10% doing paperwork. That is a tough way to make a living. As a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners, you will not have a prospecting problem. You will have a scheduling problem. When he was in the field doing personal production, Jim Clark solved the prospecting problem. In fact, he almost solved it too well. His prospecting tools were so powerful that he had to hire a full-time scheduler to handle all of the leads that came in. Leads that were willing to come to his office to do business with him. That's the kind of problem to have, right? Mr. Clark saw clients only 3 days per week, on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. When he arrived at his Class A office on Tuesday morning, his scheduler would have 40 to 60 appointments scheduled for the next 3 days. 40 to 60. He spent 80% of his time selling, 10% prospecting, and 10% doing paperwork. That is the way to make a living in the retirement planning business using the powerful prospecting tools of the Jim Clark process. Use the prospecting tools available to you as a member in good standing, and you will not have a prospecting problem. Jim Clark's outstanding audiobook, Retire Younger Richer: How to Build a $1 Million Private Retirement Plan, is one of the most powerful prospecting tools ever developed, second only to his television program, Jim Clark Presents. As a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners, you have full and unlimited use of this powerful prospecting tool. No other agents have access to this powerful tool. Only members in good standing of the American Alliance. There are 2 easy ways to use Jim Clark's outstanding audiobook to prospect. The first easy way is to get the Jim Clark's Retire Younger Richer wallet card into your prospect's hands. The card is the size of a credit card, and it has the audiobook on it. Add a sticker with your contact info and hand the card to your prospect or mail it to him. This is an easy yet powerful way to introduce your prospect to the private retirement plan. It's also another way to distinguish yourself from the competition. How many of your competitors have such a prospecting tool? A recommended layout for your card is found in your member account page, as well as a vendor for stickers. The second easy way is to go to your member account page and download a link to the audiobook. Then, email the link to your prospect with a note. Here's a sample note. Harvey and Paula, great news. It's now possible to establish your own private retirement plan, accumulate a lot of money, and thereby retire younger, richer. The private retirement plan is safe. It pays an excellent return. The interest grows tax-deferred. And at retirement, it provides an income on which you pay no tax. Here's a link to Jim Clark's outstanding audiobook that reviews the highlights of the private retirement plan. Listen to it and call me. I'll do a preliminary retirement review for you to determine whether the private retirement plan is right for you. There's no cost for the review and certainly no obligation. My number is 123-555-6789. Al Lesser, founder, chairman, CEO, Lesser Retirement Planning. Be sure to put a disclosure at the bottom of your email that reads, "The private retirement plan is a nickname for a life insurance policy that is specifically designed for tax-preferenced cash accumulation." Regardless of which way you use, the wallet card or the link, wait until your prospect calls you. If you call the prospect, you'll be treated like a salesman. If the prospect calls you, you'll be treated like a professional. If the prospect is interested in retirement planning now, he'll call and make an appointment to come to your office for more information. If he isn't interested in retirement planning now, he'll call you when he is. Plant the seeds, and the harvest will come. Mr. Clark had a prospect carry Mr. Clark's business card in his wallet for 3 years before calling. When Mr. Clark asked him why he had waited so long to call, the prospect said he was waiting until he retired so he could roll his 401k plan over with Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark planted the seeds, and the harvest came. Using this powerful prospecting tool sets you apart from your wannabe competition. Your competition simply does not have anything like it. The message that you are different rings loud and clear. Visit jimclarkamerican.com/alliance and listen to Jim Clark's outstanding audiobook, Retire Younger, Richer: How to Build a $1 Million Private Retirement Plan. It is a powerful prospecting tool. You'll know what to do. With your prospecting problem solved and a steady stream of pre-qualified, high-commission, motivated prospects at your door, you can now focus your attention on closing sales. Jim Clark's outstanding closing videos will do the heavy lifting for you. There are 2 powerful videos, one for the private retirement plan, life insurance, and one for the guaranteed safe annuity, annuities. These are the exact same presentations that provided Jim Clark with the 100% closing rate, 100%. The videos are easy to use. All you must do is introduce the video that matches the sale you want to make, life or annuity. Explain that the video covers the concept using an imaginary plan, and leave the room until the prospect pages you that the video is over. When you come back to the room, the prospect will be sold. All you have to do is show the prospect the real product that you have chosen, answer questions, and write the app. It just does not get any easier. Here's a sample introduction to the videos. Harvey and Paula, I have some good news for you. You are indeed candidates for the private retirement plan. The private retirement plan is safe. It pays an excellent return. The interest grows tax-deferred. And at retirement, it provides an income on which you pay no tax. Since there is no one better at explaining how the private retirement plan works than our founder, Jim Clark, I'm going to let Mr. Clark explain how it works using an imaginary plan. Then I'll show you the real plan that I've chosen for you and answer any questions that you may have. Here's a pager. Let me know when Mr. Clark is finished. Using these professional videos sets you apart from the wannabe competition. You can be sure your competition does not have anything to compare. Your prospect will notice the difference between you and your wannabe competition. Wannabe competition? Yes, and that's as close as they will ever get to being you. Visit jimclarkamerican.com/alliance and watch the closing videos. You'll be amazed at the simplicity yet thoroughness of Mr. Clark's explanation. You'll also be impressed with the pure professionalism. 50 years ago, training was usual and customary. When a company or agency contracted an agent, the agent was trained on how to do his job. Today, not so much. Today, the norm is, go sell your family and friends. Then, good luck. We hope you make it. That's why the agents who do survive don't make much money. They simply do not know what to do. The worst part is, they don't know what they don't know. Jim Clark once made $80,000 on one sale. He did so because he knew what to do when a big client came in. Most agents do not know what to do when a big client comes in. Members in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners have a different story to tell and a different life to live. They have training, and more training. Moreover, they have Jim Clark training. They know what to do when a big client comes in. Weekly blogs, monthly live Q&A webinars, and periodic 3-day intense conferences provide all the training needed to build and maintain a quality retirement planning practice and a well above average income. Well above. Just how strong is Jim Clark training? Listen to what a recently graduated, no experience newbie agent had to say. I began my career as a Jim Clark retirement planner immediately after graduation from college. I had absolutely no experience in financial services or anything else. Mr. Clark told me I didn't need any experience. He said all I had to do was follow the system and I would be successful. He was right. I followed the system and I've had a 100% success rate with every client with whom I've worked. The Jim Clark process works. The integrity of the company is impeccable, and the career opportunity is unparalleled. Malik Ferguson. Listen to what a seasoned 30-year veteran agent had to say. Dear Mr. Clark, I am very excited. Using the Jim Clark process, I went on 4 appointments, closed all 4 clients, which is a 100% closing rate. This is a dream come true for every agent. I wrote $14,440 in commission. That's an average of $3,275 per sale. It is a fantastic program. I have 30 years of experience in the insurance industry, but I must say, I have never seen a process so extremely effective and so well thought out. Mr. Clark, you had made me a believer in your process. I really cannot wait to share with the world how to retire younger, richer, using the Jim Clark process. Respectfully, Armand Gasparian, Senior Vice President of Finance and Business Development. Want to build a powerful business, be the best at what you do, and live a lifestyle that proves it? Take advantage of the training that's available to you as a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners. Jim Clark's outstanding weekly blog, the Jim Clark blog on power selling, is another powerful source of information on how to build a quality retirement planning practice. Every week there's something different that you can use to improve your selling style. Imagine getting more powerful and more capable every week. You'll know as it happens because you'll feel it. Jim Clark's outstanding monthly e-learning webinar, the Jim Clark Webinar on Power Selling, is a powerful opportunity to enhance your craft. All you have to do is log on, listen, and ask questions from the comfort of your home or office. Jim Clark will be your host. Without question, the Jim Clark Conference on Advanced Retirement Planning is the most powerful training available in the industry today. The conference is 3 days of intense training, during which you will learn the Jim Clark process for retirement planning. This is the same process that the Deputy Commissioner of Insurance praised when he said he wished every agent in the state of Indiana would do business the way Jim Clark did business. It's the same process Jim Clark used to sell more retirement policies and annuities than any other agent in the 250-year history of the life insurance business. It's the same process Jim Clark used to sell 160 times that of the average agent of just one of the companies for whom he sold. 160 times. At the end of this page is a letter from the president. You'll learn things at JCCOARP that you have never heard before. Even if you've been in the business for 50 years, many of the things you will learn at this conference will be new to you. For example, you'll learn how to make a second sale 80% of the time when you deliver the first sale policy or annuity. You'll learn how to dramatically increase your close rate by making a secret gesture and saying 4 magic words. A secret gesture and 4 magic words that can turn an "I want to think it over" into "Let's do it." 1 secret gesture and 4 magic words. Members in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners enjoy a deep discount on the attendance fee for the Jim Clark Conference on Advanced Retirement Planning. Start saving your pennies, nickels, and dimes now. You do not want to miss this powerful event. It could double, triple, or even quadruple your income overnight. Listen to what Melvin C. Parker, CLU, CHFC, President and Chief Executive Officer of Investors Insurance Corporation, had to say about using Jim Clark's production as a result of his using the Jim Clark process for retirement planning taught in the Jim Clark Conference on Advanced Retirement Planning. Dear Jim, just a note to congratulate you for the incredible accomplishment of leading our company in production for over 2 years in a row. Being number 1 out of over 4,000 representatives and on target this year to produce over in production is a real testimony of the confidence your clients have shown in you. It is interesting to note that your production this year actually is equal to over 160 times that of our average representative's production. Thank you for your continuing support. It is a real honor to be associated with you and progressive retirement planning. Melvin C. Parker, CLU, CHFC, President and Chief Executive Officer, Investors Insurance Corporation. Sometimes training is just better when it's out of the office, right? That's why members in good standing are so enthusiastic about the Jim Clark Annual Training Retreat. The training rooms are great places to focus on perfecting your craft, and so is the beach, and so is the pool bar. No traffic to disturb one's concentration. Regardless of how you position yourself in the marketplace, as a retirement planner or otherwise, life in the field selling life insurance and annuities can be tough. You have to do everything yourself. That's why the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners does everything possible to support and help its members in good standing. The first and most powerful piece of support is the Founder's Endorsement Letter. There are a dozen more support platforms in development. You're not fighting the battle alone when you are a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners. You have backup. The Jim Clark Founder's Endorsement Letter is powerful and unique. Upon request, a letter from the founder will go to your prospects. Simply go to your Member in Good Standing Communications Center, add your info and the info of the person to whom you wish to send the letter, and push send. The letter is in your prospect's inbox. When he was in the field doing personal production, Jim Clark used the Founder's Endorsement Letter with every prospect. It was commonplace for him to hear, "We received a letter from the president of the company about you. It said you were the best in the business and that we were in good hands. Just thought you might like to know what they're saying about you. Mr. Clark knew what they were saying about him. What effect do you think this letter had on Mr. Clark's closing rate? What effect do you think this letter will have on your closing rate? Here's what the founder's endorsement letter will say about you. Mr. Smith, it has come to my attention that you are in dialogue with Al Lesser regarding your retirement planning. The purpose of this letter is to assure you that should you decide to allow Mr. Lesser to serve as your retirement planner, your retirement plan will be in very capable hands. Mr. Lesser is a professional retirement planner. He is a respected member of the retirement planning community, and he's a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners. Mr. Lesser knows how to develop a first-class retirement plan. I congratulate you on your decision to do personal retirement planning, and I encourage you to carefully consider Mr. Lesser's recommendations. His expertise and integrity will serve you well. With respect, Jim Clark, Founder, Chairman, CEO, Invictus, American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners. Whether we want to admit it or not, the general public has a poor opinion of the life insurance business. In the minds of the general public, the companies are crooked. They'll cheat you the first chance they get. In the minds of the general public, the agents are high pressure, dishonest, and uneducated. They'll tell you anything to get you to buy. In the minds of the general public, the product is a ripoff. You have to die to beat it. Don't think people feel this way? Stop listening to your manager and the all-knowing ones at the home office, and start listening to the people. If you're going to live differently than other agents, you must do everything in your power to separate yourself from the pack. There is no better way than by becoming a member in good standing of the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners. Let people know. Hang your certification certificate in your office. Put the American Alliance logo on your stationery, emails, and business cards. Run an ad in your local newspaper. Host a wine and cheese reception at your office celebrating your membership, during which you favor your guests with a complimentary paperback copy of Jim Clark's outstanding book, Retire Younger, Richer: How to Build a $1 Million Private Retirement Plan. Doing these things will tell people you are not the average agent. You are different. You're a member of an elite group of professionals who possess the expertise and integrity to help them with their retirement. Invest in your career. Spend some money. Host a wine and cheese reception at your office to announce your membership in good standing with the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners. Make it an upscale event. Invite high-end guests. Invite the mayor, chief of police, sheriff, clergy, big business owners, wealthy retirees, etc. Invite influencers, people who will talk about your event. Try this. See what happens. It won't cost you a penny. You'll make at least one sale that will pay for the event, and the goodwill and publicity will put you on a whole new level. Membership in the American Alliance of Professional Retirement Planners is the best investment you will ever make, because it is an investment in you.